night are falling. It's twilight time.
Hi, and welcome back to another video from Digital Spy. This time, we're taking a trip to Suburbia and digging into all the Easter eggs and hints that Marvel dropped in the latest Wandavision trailer. So let's go.
Stop it! Stop it!
Earlier this year, a short trailer revealed that the Vision somehow survived Avengers Infinity War and now has built a seemingly perfect life for himself with Wanda. However, as this suburban reality walked around our heroes, fans discovered that the newly married couple were also parents, hinting at twin comic book characters who may eventually set up a whole new version of the Avengers. With little else to go on, Wiccan and Speed were the biggest talking points in that first trailer, but since then, Wandavision has bewitched us with a brand new promo that sets up even more concrete connections to the MCU at large. So join us as we queue up the laugh track and wade through all the chaos to find every major Easter egg in the new Wandavision trailer. Easter egg number 1, we stan Katherine Hahn. Anyone who's seen Transparent or Mrs. Fletcher will already be under the spell of Katherine Hahn, and now it looks like Wanda and the Vision will be too. At first, her still unnamed character just comes across as one of the quirky neighbours who usually pop over unannounced in classic American sitcoms. However, that all changes towards the end of the trailer, when Vision encounters her dressed up as a witch outside their home on Halloween.
Am I dead?
No. Why would you think that?
Because you are.
Hahn's character seems dazed or in a trance until Vision taps her on the head, suddenly waking her up from whatever spell she was under. Confused for a moment, the neighbour tells Vision he's supposed to be dead and then cackles like a real witch, which is probably because she really is one. Although Marvel are keeping stum on Hahn's character, it's extremely likely that she's actually Agatha Harkness, Wanda's long-standing mentor from the comics, who taught her magic. Agatha is usually an ally for the most part, but in Tom King's award-winning Vision series from 2015, she foresaw Vision losing control and destroying the world. Does this mean that Katherine Hahn will turn out to be Wandavision's big bad? Marvel does love to throw us an occasional curveball to keep comic book fans on their toes. Number 2, no more mutants. Early on in the trailer, Wanda uses her powers to pour out some wine, because who wouldn't want to get drunk in this suburban nightmare? What's particularly interesting about this is that the wine's called Maison du Mépris, which translates roughly to House of Contempt in English. There's also a large M on the neck of the bottle, adding even more credence to the idea that Wandavision will adapt the House of M storyline from the comics. Long story short, this now classic arc from 2005 revolved around Wanda's trauma following the loss of Vision and her children. While the Avengers and X-Men argued over how to handle the situation, Wanda lost control and flipped reality around so mutants were the dominant species, before she then tried to eradicate them completely. How this will play out in the show remains to be seen, but between the debut of her twin children and Vision's apparent death in the films, it looks like Wanda has lost control here too. However, this version of the Scarlet Witch isn't as strong as her comic book counterpart, so our guess is that she's just walked the reality of this one small town, creating a perfect version of the world she so desperately craved following Vision's demise. If you want to learn more about how we think Scarlet Witch and Wandavision will impact the MCU, be sure to click our video here. Number 3, one broke girl. If Wanda's power is indeed limited to just one area, then that would explain all the government's agents who pop up to create a military-style perimeter near the end. After all, that kind of phenomenon is bound to draw attention from the wider world. But who are they exactly? Last year, a set photo confirmed that S.W.O.R.D. will make their MCU debut in Wandavision, so it seems likely that this is our first official look at their organisation. In the comics, S.W.O.R.D. stands for, and bear with us, Sentient World Observation and Response Department. Basically, they're like S.H.I.E.L.D., but their focus is on extraterrestrial life and protecting the world from space. No individual agents make themselves known in the trailer, but if you squint closely, it looks like Darcy Lewis might be part of the organisation. Kat Dennings' fan favourite and hilarious character hasn't appeared in the MCU since Thor: The Dark World was released back in 2013, but we've known for some time she would be making her return here. It makes sense then that a scientist with her unique experience might become an entry point for S.W.O.R.D.'s on-screen debut.
Look, the intern is excited.
And number 4, marvellous timing. Given how powerful Wanda is, S.W.O.R.D. might need some superpowered help too, and that's where Monica Rambeau comes in. First introduced as a child in Captain Marvel, the adult Monica is played here by Teyonah Parris. We meet her adult self towards the end of the trailer, when her body is hurled through the sky and lands in front of the government agents. In the comics, Rambeau possessed similar energy powers to Captain Marvel, and even took on that moniker at one point while leading the Avengers. Given that she's surrounded by energy here, and goes on to survive this crash landing, our guess is Monica may already be in full possession of her powers by this point. Is Wanda somehow responsible? Both Monica and Captain Marvel's gifts are drawn from the Infinity Stones, so don't be surprised if Monica's origin story is connected to them too. Whether Rambeau has been thrown forward in time, or whether she just happened to live in Westview before Wanda worked her magic, expect more connections to Captain Marvel through her, potentially setting up an already confirmed sequel.
Your mom's lucky.
When they were handing out kids, they gave her the toughest one. Lieutenant Trouble.
You remembered.
In fact, Marvel may already be lining up Teyonah Parris to replace Brie Larson, mirroring how RAMBO temporarily took over from Carol Danvers in the comics. And although Doctor Strange doesn't appear in the trailer, Marvel has already confirmed Wanda will return in his second solo venture, Multiverse of Madness. Agatha Harkness and her magical gifts will likely act as a bridge between WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2, dealing with the ramifications of Wanda's break from reality, and maybe, just maybe, the emergence of X-Men in the MCU too. After all, if the Scarlet Witch is strong enough to erase all the mutants in the comics, who's to say she can't bring them back in the MCU? And that's all the Easter eggs and hints we've got for now. As far as we know, WandaVision is landing on Disney Plus at some point towards the end of this year, so we don't have too much longer to wait to find out whether our predictions are right. In the meantime, make sure you stay up to date over on digitalspy.com for the latest Marvel news, and subscribe here to get the latest videos from us. Until next time, goodbye! WandaVision, 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 WandaVision.